First up, our JV matchup in the Midwest High School Hockey League. We have the Des Moines Oakleafs, the visiting team, and your Dubuque Saints.
Welcome to the broadcast today. We've got the Oakleafs versus the Saints. Looks like the Oakleafs are going to send out number 35, Nathan Proby, a senior, in net. Saints will counter with Connor Sheehy. Starting lineup looks like it's about to be Beschen and Cruiser back on defense. Netherly, Deutsch, and Mueller. We'll start at the forward line. Coach Willenberg has some advice for the refs. I'm sure it's something like, don't call penalties on us. The refs saying, well, we'll try not to. Don't cheat. That's the end of that conversation. Puck's down and we're underway. Down in the neutral zone, the Oaks will push it deep. Behind the net, Sheehy will play it. Around the boards to Mueller. Mueller cross ice. Behind the net, Beschen will take it. Up the boards to Mueller in the center ice. Deutsch will collect there. Force it deep. Round the back of the net. Oaks will try and break it out. Cruiser holds it in. Still battling on the blue line. Netherly will knock it deep. Go for a change. Oaks collect. Long breakout pass to the center ice. Ruiz for a shot and miss. Ross helps him down anyway. Around the near boards. Cruiser's got it. Loses it to the Oaks. Centered. Just off the pass. Mueller will chase it down on the far side. Behind the net. Worked around. Oaks puck to the slot. Ruiz, he's got control. He'll pass it back. Cruiser with the hit in the corner. Works it behind the net. Sager's back there. Oaks will walk it out of the corner, out to the point. Held in there. Pennington. Cruiser with the steal. He'll work it up to Ruiz. Ruiz through center ice. He gets it into the zone. Throws it deep. Puck behind the net. Oaks will try and break it out. Joseph Ross is going to be sent to the bench, or the penalty box, earlier than expected. Refs are going to discuss whether this is a 2 or something a little more severe. Just going with a trip, it looks like. There's no major tripping penalty. You either trip someone or you don't. Sammy Ruiz will take the faceoff. He loses it back to the Oaks. They'll go D-to-D at the point. Dump down low. They'll set the power play up below the goal line. Up to the point. D-to-D. They'll work it across. D-to-D again. Lost. And squirts out of the zone. Sammy Ruiz comes in hard to the boards. Oaks just held on sides. He'll circle. Back out to the point. Tipped. Shot on net by Sweeney on Sheehy. I don't think that was what was supposed to happen, but Sheehy makes a save. Oaks beat it on the far side. Dumped in. Saved by Sheehy. Fed across the ice. Dumped down low to the pass. Shot. Wide. Sammy Ruiz, he's got it on the far side. And he'll send it down. Go for a change. Oaks will collect. He'll come out into center ice. Carries it into the zone. Dips around a couple guys. Fires to the man on the backside. Misses. Collects. Again, feeds it in front. Saved by Sheehy. And Callum Ezrich will dump it out. Right to the ice for a clear. Oaks will collect. Carry it up the ice. Cross ice pass. Fed again, and they'll take it into the offensive zone. Take it wide. Try to feed it in front of the net. Nobody home. Mesrich has got it. He'll send it to the neutral zone. Deutsch will give chase. Fired back in, but dumped back out by Kretz. Dumped down deep. And that'll be the end of the power play. Kretz behind the net. Up to Deutsch. Deutsch to Ruiz. Ruiz gets it out of the zone. Carries it into the offensive zone. Joseph Ross will pick it up there. Battles in the corner. Dumps it behind the net. Scramble in front of the net. Looks like we got a shot on goal there. Out to the point. Liam Henry loses the handle. Oaks chase it wide, and it'll go to the far corner. A little 2-on-1 with Blaze Seegers back there on defense. Saints recover. Henry back behind the net again to get it. He'll play it up the boards, up in front of Jackson Heacock. Joseph Ross will recover. Ruiz to Ross. Ross carries it in deep. Shot on net, saved. Off to the near boards. Callum Mesrich comes in like the ball fire he is and tries to knock it loose. The Oaks recover. Up to center ice. They'll dump it down in. Bastion tries to play it behind the net. It's collected by the Oaks there. Fired around to the near boards by Stagers. Mesrich will collect it. Carries it in front of the boards. Up to Sammy Ruiz. Ruiz gets it deep. Comes in hard. Ends up on the ice. Fired in front of the net. Tip just wide. Cruiser will go back and play it in the neutral zone. Coming with a head of steam here. He'll take it into the zone. Down to the far corner. Presses the issue behind the net. Loses it. Cal Mesrich chips it down deep. Sweeney will give chase. Out to Beshin. He'll fire it off the boards. Mesrich behind the net. Fires it out in front. Nobody home. Kretz has got a shot there. He'll dump it down in. Saints showing a little offensive prowess here. Mesrich battles in the corner. Up to Sweeney. Sweeney back to Cruiser. Cruiser will take a walk. Fires it to Ruiz. Can't get the shot off. It'll go to the near corner. Sweeney behind the net. Up to Cruiser. Back in deep. And the Oaks will get it cleared. And push it into the offensive zone. Sammy Ruiz behind the net. He'll flip it up the near boards. Gets it to Cal. Cal up the middle to Cody Sweeney. Just out of his reach. The Oaks will collect. Regroup. Circle behind the net. Tries to find the open space. Michael Poles. First appearance of the game. He'll apply a little pressure. Gavin Netherly there too. Make it hard. Trips it loose. CJ Mueller. He's got the steal. He'll wheel on the near boards. Nice move. Takes a shot just off the net. And it'll clear the zone. Saints will dump it back in. Mueller leans on his man. Managed to get it just clear. Wyatt Kleesner holds it in. Pushes it down deep. Nice to see Wyatt in the lineup today. Oaks will break it out. Try for a far inside pass. And we'll go for an ice. So 7:45 left in the first period. Still a 0-0 game. Shots are 4-2 in favor of the Oaks. Puck's down. Battle, then we'll get a clearing attempt. Looks like it go the length. Sheehy over to play it. He'll leave it there for Beshin to collect. Beshin circles behind the net. Tried to play it up to Heacock. Lost it. It's battle behind the net. We'll go out and try this side to Ruiz. Ruiz over to Heacock. Heacock through center ice. He'll dump it in on net. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Ruiz collects again. Fires on net. Another save. Cruiser will hold it in at the blue line. Tries to dump it down. Battled there in front of the Oaks bench. A little dipsy-do dangle around. Pass it across the ice. Dump it in. We're down below the goal line now. Ruiz on the near boards. Tries to clear it. Shot wide. Beshin's got it now. He'll try and play it off the boards. The Oaks managed to hold it in. Heacock again carrying it up the middle. He'll dump it down, go for a change. Oaks will collect behind the net. They'll try and break it out, and they do. Off the inside boards in front of the benches. Messerich will collect. Loses it. Oaks will counter. Shot. Saved by Sheehy. Rebound kicked out. Sammy Ruiz, he'll carry it down. Through center ice. Chips it down in deep. Behind the goal. They'll try and play it around, and they do. Sweeney collects it there. He'll take a shot. Shot wide. Cam Spangler manages to hold it in. Sweeney loses control. The Oaks will clear it out to center ice, and they'll press the issue. Dump down in. Sweeney's got it. He'll hold, wait for Mesrich to clear, and he does. Dump down low behind the goal line. Mesrich gives chase, and Sammy Ruiz steps in. Oaks will clear it out in front of the boards, and they're coming down with speed. Held up by Blaze Seeger. He'll play it wide. Oaks will go back and collect. Fire it up the far side boards. Into neutral ice. Sent across the ice again. Touched on. Deutsch will steal it there. Blaze Seegers will carry it into the neutral zone. Chip it down deep. Gavin Netherly will give chase. Netherly and Deutsch manhandle a man in the corner. Puck gets loose though. Again, they'll press the issue. Michael pulls now down below the goal line. Popped up. Deutsch has got it on the far side. He battles for it. Oh, ref says it was just offsides. Sent to clear the zone and then press the issue again. Oaks will try and break it out. They're up to center ice. Stegers will have it. He'll play it off the boards in front of the bench. And Deutsch will give chase. He's got it. Clear shot. Doesn't get a shot off net. Pressured by the Oaks D. Fires it back to, that's Liam Henry out of the defense. He'll dump it in from the blue line. Doesn't make it through. Stopped in the slot. Stegers with it now. Tries to dump it down deep. Gets caught at the blue line. And the Oaks will come through center ice. And they'll be offsides. Shots are 6-3 now in favor of the Oaks. Saints showing a little more punch than they did yesterday. Joseph Ross down for the faceoff now. Jackson Heacock pushes it up to Nico Ruiz. Back to Bryce Beshin. Ruiz steals it there on the side, tries to feed it across to the center. Just out of his reach. Cruiser tries to play it up over the air, loses control, gets back into the play. He's still digging for it there. Played down behind the net. Sammy Ruiz will carry it out. He'll hit a pass to his brother, Nico. Nico into the offensive zone. He'll stop, wait for his team to catch up. Shot on net. Saved by the Oaks goalie. So we got Sammy in for the faceoff. One back to Sweeney. Sweeney back to Beshin. Beshin will dump it down deep to Messerich. Shot in front of the net. Saved. Sweeney with a nice opportunity there in the slot that just couldn't get home. Battle along the near boards. Mesrich will force it down deep below the goal line. He'll try and throw it out in front. A little bit of a cluster there. Mesrich tries to clear. The Oaks steal. Beschen will hold it in at the blue line. Sweeney pinned along the boards. Loses his stick. Recovers. Mesrich tries to get a shot. It's tipped. Saints got all three forwards behind the goal line. That's not the greatest place to be. Someone's going to need to get in front to score, boys. Play it around to the defense. That's Nolan Kretz. He'll dump it down deep to the far corner. Cody Sweeney's there. Collects, fires it below the line to Mesrich. Fires it back out. Shot on net by Sweeney. Battled in front. Mesrich again below the goal line. Up to Sammy Ruiz. He'll try and take a shot. Tip just wide. Maybe that was a pass. Up to Bryce Beschen behind the net to Mesrich. Off his stick. It'll come to the near boards. Mesrich with authority into the boards. That Oaks player's getting up a little groggy. It's an early morning game, boys. Nolan Kretz gets a handle on it. Plays it up to CJ Mueller. Mueller across the blue line. He'll try and center it to Corbin Deutsch. Just off his stick. Gavin Netherly takes a shot. Ends up in the slot. Battled there. Puck is loose. Coming back through center ice. It'll be chipped down. Icing waved off. Kretz collects it. Plays it up the boards to Mueller, who fires it to the center of the slot. Saved by Sheehy. Another save by Sheehy there, and looks like Bird's shot. Mueller up the boards. It's played back into the Saints zone. Oaks will give chase around Cam Spangler. Behind the net, looking for the open man. He'll get it out to the point. Dumped down in, blocked in front. Gavin Netherly manages to get the clearing attempt. That's offsides. Everyone in the building knew it, including the forward that received it. So it's a tight game. 0-0, 1:17 left in the period. Oaks still have a slight advantage in shots. Puck is down. On the near boards, the Oaks will dump it deep. Behind the net, that's Wyatt Cleason to try and connect it. Takes a bad line. Ross is back there to help him out, though. He'll carry it up the boards. Plays it up to Ruiz. Ruiz to Heacock. Heacock will dump it in and give chase. Minute left in the period. Oaks mishandle it, but recollected. They'll play it deep. Cleason back to play it up. Takes the hit. Joseph Ross hands one out. We got Wyatt carrying the puck up. Wyatt will play across to Nico Ruiz. Loses the handle. Tries to play it to Heacock into his skates. Oaks got it. They'll carry it back in the zone. No call there. All kinds of good stuff going on. Still no call. Oaks got a little bit of an opportunity here. They'll try and center it. Unsuccessfully. Mesrich up to Ross. Ross tries to play it to Heacock. Oaks will collect back in the defensive zone. Play it up to center ice. That's Steggers there, battles with it. Oaks got a 2-on-1 with Beschen back. Shot on that, saved by Sheehy. Collected, shot. Another save by Sheehy. Joseph Ross up to Cody Sweeney. He'll tag it, but it'll still go for an ice. And that's the end of the first period. Much better showing today for the Saints. Puck is down. Battled for it. Oaks got it, and they'll push into the offensive zone. Carried wide. Not sure how that happened, but puck around the back of the net. The Oaks control. They lose it. Out to the neutral zone. They'll try and dump it back in. Puck played out of play by Sweeney into the Oaks bench. I'm sure he wasn't trying to hit Coach Scott Long. Long shaking his head like, I think he was trying to hit me. He may have been, Scott. Saints have the face-off. They'll try and force it deep. Mesrich tries to take out Coach Austin Wallenberg. Or no, that's Coach Button. Button taking it a little better than Coach Long did. Puck down into the Saints offensive zone. The Oaks have it there. Cruiser with a bad line, but it'll go for icing. Puck down. Oaks have control. Cruiser will chip it in deep towards the net. Goes just wide. No shot there. Played out. Besson will hold it there at the blue line. Ruiz will try and jump it down deep. Oaks will collect. Ruiz will send. Oaks will collect. Out to center ice. That's Cody Cruiser. They'll play it up to Cal Mesrich. Mesrich along with power boards. Gets rubbed off. Goes down deep below the goal line. Sweeney will step in. Tries to take control. Loses it. The Oaks will carry it out to the near boards. Front of the benches. They'll bring it down with some speed. Cuts to center ice. Shot. Saved by Sheehy. Got a toe on that. Maybe two. It's going to trickle down into the offensive zone for the Saints. Oaks will collect there. Attempt to break it out. Long pass. Cruiser manages to get a stick on it there. Come into the defensive zone. Now we've got Nolan Kretz behind the net. Whelan, he'll play it off the boards. Tries to get it to Mueller. Mueller plays it down deep. He'll force it into the neutral zone. Oaks collect, and they'll force it deep. Nolan Kretz again, off the boards. Played to the front of the net. Cruiser collects it there. He'll play it off the pulls. Gavin Netherly giving some speed. He's got it in. He'll take it wide. Gets it centered to Mueller. And we've got a little bit of a collision in front of the net. CJ Mueller makes sure the Oaks goalie's okay. Best wishes and such. So Mueller, Netherly, and Pulls will be the offensive line out here. Netherly steps down for the faceoff. Faceoff dropped. Battle for control. Pulls to Mueller. Mueller fires it just off the side of the net. Oak goalie with the save. Bad on the near boards. The Oaks will try and chip it out. Netherly hustles back into the offensive zone.
Offside by a lot.
Apparently the booth next to me thinks that was offsides, and battle down below the net. Fired out in front. Beautiful block by Cam Smanglish. He'll play it up to Pulls. Pulls to center ice. He'll push the issue. Can't get a stick on it.
Oh, you don't miss that one, though.
Long pass up to the Oaks. They're in the offensive zone. They'll fire it across. Trickle in front of the net. Slow one for Sheehy to get a glove over. Excuse me. Needless to say, the booth to my left is not fans of the refs, but I think you'll find most hockey parents aren't. Nico Ruiz now. He'll try and fire it up to the blue line. Held in there by the Oaks. Joseph Ross will give chase in front of the net. They'll press the issue out to center ice. Henry up to Nico Ruiz. He'll play it deep. Played off to the side by the Oaks goalie. Behind the net. Ruiz tries to walk it out. Can't quite get a shot off. Held in by Joseph Ross. He'll force it deep. Jackson Heacock is going to get a boarding call here. Checking from behind. That's just as bad. Jackson Heacock, fairly clean player. I don't think the intent was there. By the letter of the law, that was probably a checking from behind, and the fact that it was involving the boards doesn't help the case. So Jackson will sit for a good 12 minutes. The refs will tell him that he needs company. He can't sit there alone. And it looks like C.J. Mueller is drawing a little short straw. He'll go over and explain to Jackson Heacock exactly what checking from behind is and how to do it properly. Oaks will be on a power play now for 2 minutes. Saints will counter with Ruiz and Sweeney. Beshin and Cruiser on defense.
Jackson Heacock. 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct to 11:26 of the second period.
Played in front by the Oaks. They'll play it down behind the net. Battle there by Cruiser. He'll try and get a clearing attempt. Behind the net, Beshin will try and cover. Seems like he's outmanned out there. Oh, wait. The Oaks are on the power play. They'll play it around out to the D. D will walk in, try and get a shot. Saved by Sheehy. I'm pretty sure Beshin shot that directly into his own net. So the Oaks capitalize on the power play. Apparently a problem with the sound system. Oaks will collect it and try and dump it deep. Saved by Sheehy. Netherly will take the draw. Forced down behind the goal line. Cam Spangler will take it there. Up to Kretz. I'm sorry, that's Deutsch. Deutsch forced on the far boards. Shot on net saved. Knocked high. Deutsch up to Mueller. Mueller along the boards. He'll try and force it deep. And does. Stays with him. Oaks will circle. I'll move the camera so you can all see that. Oaks will steal. They'll come 3-on-1. Got Blaze Sagers back on defense. Shot saved by Sheehy. Out to the blue line. They'll work it down deep. The penalty seems to have taken some of the life out of the Saints. They're on the defensive now. Mueller, he'll clear it out to center ice. Deutsch will give chase. Tries to play it up. It'll get to the blue line there. Oaks carried into center ice. They'll take it into the offensive zone. Shot on net. Wide. Deflected wide there. Far boards. Collected in the corner. Deutsch gets a little physical and says good morning to the Oaks player. Ruiz, he'll play it up to Sweeney. Sweeney's got a clear path to the net. Oaks run him down. Shot just wide. Sammy Ruiz tries to keep it in. Can't. And it'll trickle all the way back to the defensive zone. Blaze Staggers will do a turn there. Takes a hack. Played up. Knocked back in by Ruiz. Rubbed off there. Saints continuing to struggle to get it out. Really lost a little life with that own goal. Sweeney, he'll toe drag. Gets a shot. Saved. No one saw that because your camera wasn't in the right place. Take my word for it. It was a nice shot and a better save. Puck down. Michael Poles will try and get a shot on that. Goes just wide. Poles will chase it into the corner. Oaks control there on the near boards. They'll center it out. Carries it through the neutral zone. Dump down deep behind the net. Kretz will go in. Hard charging. Battled for in the corner there. Ruiz will center it over to Poles. Poles will try and give it back to Ruiz. And they'll force it down low. Saints retreat back to towards their own defensive zone. It's lost there. Battled in front. It's Cam Spangler. She'll play it up to Ruiz. Off to Ross, who's moving good. Shot on net. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Face off one by the Saints. They'll try and control. Get it back to Staggers, who just can't hold on to it. Trickles out to the central zone. Netherly gets shoved down there after a nice dump attempt. Battles. Sagers can't hold it in again. Comes out to the neutral zone. That's why Kleesner. He'll center it back to Deutsch. Deutsch gets it to Netherly, who's rudely dropped. Mueller will collect it. He'll carry it in the blue line. Dump it slowly just to the right of the net. Puck forced deep. Mueller trying to get it out in front. Might be on the back netting. Worked loose. Mueller works around to the front. Can't get a shot. Can't get a shot. Tip just wide. Shot on net by Ruiz. And some debate where the puck is there. Looks like it was underneath the goalie. So 7:05 left in the second period. Shots are tied, 13-13. We got the Ruiz, Sweeney, Mesrich line out. One back. The Oaks will control it. Carry it up the blue line, played it up the boards. So they're into the offensive zone. Cruiser controls the puck there. Tries to play it up. Besson will kick it up to Mesrich, who kicks it back to Sweeney. Ruiz will carry it in. Shot on net, off the post. Off the post. Would have been a nice equalizer there. Besson plays it over to Ruiz. Ruiz down low behind the net. Sweeney, he'll circle there. Trying to get it out in front to Mesrich. Mesrich comes down. We're going to get some offsetting penalties here. Or maybe not offsetting. Looks like the Oaks are just going to get a penalty. Mesrich carries it in. Shots on net. Saved. And here comes that whistle we were waiting for. Cross check. Cross check. Apparently Cal Mesrich was just an innocent bystander there. At least that's what he'll say. So the Saints will go on the first power play of the game. 6:16 left in the second period. Saints power play will consist of Sweeney, Ruiz, Ross, Mesrich, and Besson.
6:16 of the second period. That means your Dubuque Saints are on the power play.
Mesrich back to Besson. Besson off to Mesrich. He'll walk to the dot. Get it in front of the net. Ross is there. Can't get a handle on it to bury it. Played out. Mesrich will try and force it deep. Doesn't quite get it there, and the Oaks will clear. Sheehy behind the net to play it. He should just leave it there. I'm not sure who he played that to. Besson up to Ruiz. Ruiz over to Ross. That was offsides. They didn't call it. No one is surprised. Oaks clear. Sheehy's got it. This time he leaves it for Besson, and Besson doesn't stuff it in his own net. Plays it around to the blue line. Sweeney's got it inside the zone. Pauses there. Gets it down deep. Ross will get it behind the net. He'll wrap it around to Mesrich. Mesrich out to Beshin. Beshin's got it at the point. Stolen there. Manages to hold up the defender just long enough to get back into position. Nice play by Beshin there. Walks in front. Goes wide of the net. Oaks will try and control. They've got it below the goal line. Just eating our power play here. In front of the net, Sheehy comes out with a dangerous poke check. Big save, and he's outnumbered. So that's a shorthanded goal. Special teams might need a little work of practice this week. So the Oaks are now up 2-0. Not sure what.
Shorthanded goal scored by number 15, Anderson Schiesel. 4:54 on the second period.
Face-off is down. Oaks try and clear. Kretz can't quite hold it in. It'll go the length. Sheehy out to try and settle it for Kretz. Kretz will collect it and go behind the net. Carries it up through the neutral or the defensive zone through the neutral zone. He'll get it up to the offensive zone. Dumps it in. Shot on net. Chip just wide. Go behind the net to Ruiz. Ruiz will try and play it. It's cleared the length of the ice. Kretz will collect it on the far blue, or on the far boards, I should say. Goes behind the net. Plays it up to Deutsch. Deutsch loses control. Des Moines will come off the penalty kill here. Carry it below the net. Tries to fade it out in front. Sheehy with a nice save. .402 left in the second period. Sammy Ruiz will come in for the faceoff. Sammy Ruiz will win it back to the corner. Bastion will play it behind the net to Cruiser, who just can't quite get to it. On the far boards, Cruiser collects it again. He'll wait there, look for the open man. Feeds it up the middle to Sammy Ruiz. Sammy will play it up to Cody Sweeney. Sweeney carries it into the net. Shot on net. That's a goal! Sweeney with a nice feed from Sammy Ruiz. And he buries the puck. So the Saints get one back. 2-1 now game, and 3:44 left in the second period. Nice little tic-tac play there to get the puck up the ice, and Sweeney put it in a gaping hole to the left of the Oaks goaltender. A little life in the Saints now as they force the puck down deep. Nico Ruiz will feed it out front to Joseph Ross. Gets a shot on that, saved. Battle behind the net. The Oaks will bring it up on the near boards. Through center ice. They'll dump it down in. Stolen there. Bastion's got it. He'll wheel up to Nico Ruiz. Ruiz gives pressure.
Number 7, Cody Sweeney. Assisted by number 13, Sammy Ruiz. At 3:13 of the second period.
Bastion's got control now. He'll play it over to Cruiser. Cruiser tries to play it up. Nobody home. Oaks will control it in, bring it in. Getting a little physical on the far boards there. Played down low. Ross will fight for the puck there with Beshin. Beshin gets control. Ross has got it now. He'll carry it behind the net. Up to Nico Ruiz. Untouched, but the defenseman gets a piece of it, so we'll nullate the icing. Corbin Deutsch now pushes the issue as the Oaks carry it up. Centering pass up to the center ice. Oaks will dump it down deep. He lost an edge there. No one saw that, but I did. Michael Pohl steps in. Kicked out. Gavin Netherly carrying the puck up the ice. He's got it through the defensive zone up to center ice. He'll dump it down deep. Behind the net, give chase. Oaks will wrap it around, and this will be just short of icing. Cam Spangler will collect it, circle behind the net. Plays it up to C.J. Mueller, who can't quite get a handle on it. The Oaks collect a loose puck. Puck comes out, and they'll bump it down deep, so that'll be offsides, delayed offsides. Oaks clear the zone. Nolan Kretz will carry it out. Loses the handle, he'll play it up. Poles gets a piece of it. Mueller carries it down. Walks it in front of the net, tries a centering pass, nobody home. Sammy Ruiz holds it in at the blue line, tries to force it down deep. The Oaks collect. They'll play it high off the boards. It's got a nice roll to it, and it'll go for an icing. .119 left before a brief Zamboni break. Oaks are still leading 2-1. Puck's down. Meserich will fire it back to Sagers, who get it over to Beshin. Cody Sweeney rainbows one in and almost gets a goal there. Tries to play it behind the net. The Oaks do. They are breaking out on the near boards. Beshin steals it, forces it down deep to Meserich. Get ridden in the boards there. Continues to battle for it. Puck comes up to Beshin. Beshin forces it down deep. That's Meserich there to get it. Kicks it up to Sweeney. Can't quite get a handle on it. We're going to battle over 6 inches of ice here down in the lower corner. Now Sweeney walks out with it. He's to the center. Up to Ruiz, who gets a shot on net. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Saints will leave this line of Meserich, Ruiz, and Sweeney out. Ruiz back over to Meserich, over to Stagers, back to Beshin. He'll dump it down deep. Forced behind the net. Meserich is there. He'll battle for it, kicks it up to Sagers. Sagers tries to get it on net. Shot on net, saved by the Oaks goaltender. Battle to the corner. They'll play it high off the boards. Sagers holds it in. Gets it in deep again. Oaks try and collect it. They'll play it out to Beshin at center ice. Beshin will dump it in. Rainbow clearing attempt by the Oaks. Sagers has got it there. He'll turn towards the far boards. Tries to play it up. Stolen by the Oaks. Getting a little dicey here as time ticks down. And that's the end of the second period. So after 2, we've got the Oakleafs up by 2-1. Shots on goal for the Saints, 20. For the Oaks, 16. And we're back for the third period here. Puck's down. Oaks control. They'll dump it down deep. Sheehy behind the net to play it. Doesn't get quite enough of it. Forks out in front quickly. Out to the blue line. The Oaks hold it in there. Sweeney tries to play it ahead to Messerich. Doesn't quite get through. Cruiser will get it. Kicks it up to Sweeney, who will throw it up to Messerich. Messerich works it down on the inside boards. Oak steal. They'll try and break it out. Ruiz will hold it in there. Oaks force it down deep, and they'll be offsides on that. Puck down now. Saints control. Back to Sagers. Sagers plays it up to Ruiz. Ruiz carries it into the zone. Fights through a couple defenders. He's got it on the near boards. Play it up. Sagers tried to rainbow it over him. Sagers knocks it down with his hand. Oaks played in deep. That's Wyatt Cleveson. He'll play it over Sagers. Sagers up the middle to Ruiz. Ruiz to Hickok. Hickok shot just over the nets. Oaks will control there. Circle in front of the net. Not a good place to carry the puck. Played off to the far boards. Worked around Kleesner there. Ross will come in deep, and Wyatt goes head first into him. Shot across the face of the net. No control there. Comes wide. Oaks will try and play it down deep. Sheehy will knock it down there. Kleesner throws it weakly up the middle. Oaks hold it in around the back of the net. Sagers will go collect it there. Sagers battles forward in the near boards with Bird. Deutsch tries to help out. Stolen there. Work behind the net to Netherly. Behind the net. Oaks walk around with it. Try and center it. Throw into the corner again. It's played out to the blue line. Kleesner's got it. He'll walk the boards. Plays it up the far side to Chris Mueller, CJ Mueller. Far side off to Deutsch. Deutsch will try and hold it in. It squirts out to the neutral zone. Back to Kretz. Kretz fires it up to Deutsch. Mueller will circle, try and collect. Back to Kretz. He'll dump it in from outside the zone. And that'll be icing. Puck down. And that'll be Sammy Ruiz. Carries behind the net. Turns. He'll look to break it out to Sweeney. Sweeney catches it. He'll fire it up the far side to Cal Messerich. Messerich comes down. Shoots, scores! That could be one of the worst celebrations I've ever seen by Messerich. But this isn't gymnastics. They don't give you points in your celebration. So, beautiful long pass by Sweeney up to Messerich. Messerich gets around the fallen defender and makes him pay. Two to two now as the Oaks win the faceoff, and they'll carry it into the zone, force it down below the goal line.
Goal scored by number 14, Talon Mazarek. Assisted by number 7, Cody Sweeney. At 12:14 of the third period.
I don't remember which defender made a beautiful pass up to Sweeney. I believe it was Sammy Ruiz. So he does not get credit for that assist, but in our minds, we know who really passed it up. Ross without a stick now. He laid a hellacious hit. Oaks carry it through center ice. Besson will send him up there. Makes a nice stop. Netherly works it down to the corner. Gets a stick tangled up underneath him. No penalty there. Cody Cruiser up to Sammy Ruiz, or Nico Ruiz, that is. Netherly works it up to Heacock. Heacock will fire it down for an ice. So we'll go down for a face-off. If you get it off too bad, you can type in here. Like if you forget to stop and start it, you can type in those numbers and it'll automatically update. And I wasn't on mute there. Face off one to the front of the net, stuck between two players. That's Liam Henry out. He'll fire it up to Deutsch. Deutsch will carry it into the neutral zone or into the offensive zone. Shot on net, saved by the Oaks goaltender. Rebound kicked wide. The defense will try and play it out. Held in by Staggers. Head back through the neutral zone. Kevin Netherly takes a bump there. Concerned parent next to me claims that's interference. He's just an announcer, not a ref, so his opinion doesn't matter. Fire just wide of the net. That's Netherly behind the net. Poles will try and play it up to Deutsch. Not quite there. Play behind the net. That's Liam Henry. He'll go back to try and collect it. Plays it up. Fired to the Oaks blue line. Saved by Sheehy. The ref patiently waiting for a fifth Saints player. Cody Sweeney. Little wardrobe malfunction there. He'll come down. Ruiz will take the face-off. Ruiz will not take the face-off since Sweeney took too long, so Mesrich will step in. He'll kick it up to the blue line. Shot, saved by Sheehy. He'll kick it off to the boards. Rolled around there. Oaks will walk to the top of the circle, fire it across the ice. Oh, cross-ice passes. Professional drive an Oaks player into Sheehy, who helps him to the ice. Walked in front of the net, slot, shot saved by Sheehy. Kick to the corner. We'll get Cal Mesrich. Kicks it off the boards. Doesn't quite get past the Oaks defender. They'll regroup. Carries it in. Pass, shot, save, goal. Bit of a defensive breakdown there in front of the Saints bench. Puck was worked onto the inner center ice. So 3-2 now. 10 minutes left in the... Saints will work it down. Spangler tries to hold it in. Oaks are coming. We got a 2-on-1. Kratz back on defense. Centered. Sheehy with a nice poke check. Worked around the back of the net. That's Ruiz. He'll fire it up to Heacock. Heacock will carry it across the blue line to center ice. Into the offensive zone. He'll try and get a shot. Chipped wide. Had to pause for fan interaction there. Apologize for that. Mueller will carry it behind his own zone or his own net up to Spangler. Spangler will battle for it there on the near boards. Work down below the goal line. Joseph Ross comes down to help out. Puck behind the Dubuque net. Spangler works it out. Stolen there by the Oaks. Oaks play it behind the net. Still behind the net. Joseph Ross will give him the business. Oaks player trips over the puck. Those things are slippery. Got to look out for them. Up to Mueller. Mueller battles for it at center ice. The Oaks will dump it back in. Sheehy behind the net to play it. Leaves it there for Spangler. Spangler collects. Loses the handle for just a second. A little bit of a wobble there. Turned over. Oaks come down. Weak shot. Sheehy with the save. Apologize for my clock counterpart. He apparently forgot to start it 10 seconds ago. He blames his grandmother. We all do that. Puck's down. Shot high in the net. Mueller will be on the far side. He'll get it outside the zone. Forced back into the Oaks defensive zone. They'll center it up. Carried into the attacking zone. Bird takes a shot. Saved by Sheehy. Kick to the corner. Oaks will play it from behind the net. Saints have a 3-on-2 opportunity here if they hurry, which they do, sort of. Mueller carries it in. Puck squirts loose to the open side, but no one there to bury it home. Mueller back to Staggers, who can't control. Cruiser will give chase, as will the Oaks. Cruiser centers it. Staggers has got it there. He'll play it off the far boards. Up to center ice. Off of the referee. Mueller will dump it deep and go for a change. Fresh legs Messerich out. Gives chase. Forces it up the far side board. The Oaks will carry it through center ice. Stolen there by Staggers. Played back to the D. Staggers will play it up the far side to Ruiz. Ruiz will carry it into the zone. Leave it for Sweeney. Sweeney caught from behind by the back checker. And the Oaks will come. 2-on-1 opportunity there. Beschen chips it high off the boards. Beschen plays it far to Sweeney. Sweeney gets just a piece of it on the wrong side of the red line. No ice. Sweeney fires it out front. No one home. Beschen collects it there. He shoots. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Kick to the corner. Violent hit by Sammy Ruiz. Both players appear to be okay. Sweeney centers to Messerich, who scores! So it's Cal Messerich from Cody Sweeney again with a much better celebration that time. Managed to stay on his feet. And that'll tie the game up. 3-3 with 6:14 left in the third period. The referee goes down to check on the Oaks goalie. Just wants to know if he's okay. Squirts a little water on the ice. Good job, Luke. We're at center ice for a faceoff with Joseph Ross. It's one back to the Saints. Oaks control. They'll play it out of play. The puck will go all the way down to the Oaks defensive zone, as they hadn't quite made it to the faceoff dot yet. Can advance the puck out of play. Ross will take the faceoff here. He'll win it back to Sagers. Sagers gets a shot just wide of the net. Jackson Heacock gives chase there. Played up the near side boards to Cam Spangler. Spangler will hold it in. Off to Heacock, who gets an off-balance shot. Doesn't quite make it to the net. Ruiz battles behind the net there. He'll get it off to Heacock in front of the net. Doesn't get a shot off. Far side boards. The Oaks will carry it up. Joseph Ross comes in like a wrecking ball. Doesn't quite get the puck, but forces the turnover. Ruiz will carry it in. Shot on net, just high. Wraps around the boards. The Oaks will try and play it out. Spangler holds it in momentarily, and then they'll force it back out. Played back to Sagers. Sagers up to Ruiz. The Oaks will collect. Ruiz steals it momentarily. Bit of a bad change there by the Saints. They manage to survive it. Netherly swoops in, and he'll take it off of speed through center ice. Gretzky turn in front of the Zam doors. Plays it down low. Little violence there between Sagers and the Oaks defender. Bryce Beschen will go back and collect it. He'll play it up to Deutsch. Deutsch to Mueller. Mueller can't quite keep a good handle on it. It's knocked loose, and the Oaks are coming the other way. Oaks pressured in. They'll carry it into the offensive zone to the middle. Shot high. Stuck on the back of the net. Knocked off. Wrapped around behind the net. There's no one home. Mueller will try and play it back. Now he'll play it up. Clears the zone. The Oaks will collect it. Played up ahead. All kinds of trouble there. Knocked loose in front of the net. Managed to get a clearing attempt. Mueller with a little time. Turned and made a blind pass, but unfortunately didn't cost them. Oaks are still pressuring here. Beshin knocks a man down without the puck. Typically we'd call that interference, but he's going to get away with that one. Oaks walk away with it with the far boards. Walk in front of the net. Shot saved. Saved again. Deutsch will carry it out now on the near side. Up in front of the benches. He'll dump it down deep and give chase. Down below the goal line. That lumbering frame, he leans on the player. The Oaks collect. They'll go from behind the net, break it out. Pause at the blue line. Big collision at center ice. Drop pass here for the Oaks. They'll give it back. Chipped in front. Sheehy gets just enough of a stick on it to force it behind the net. Played down below the goal line. The Oaks will work on it. Up the far side board, or up the near side boards, I'm sorry. Behind the net, the Oaks have it. Try the wrap. And they get it by Sheehy.
The point goal scored by number 13, Caden Anderson, assisted by number 20, Roland Cooper, at 3:09 of the third period.
Puck down, and Sagers will take it back. Plays it up the far boards. Oaks will dump it down deep. Sheehy will go behind the net to try and play it. He'll get it corralled. Sagers will come by and pick it up. Plays it up to Messerich. Messerich loses it at the blue line, but it's still forced out. Oaks will control, force it down deep. Nope, I'm sorry, battle in front of the net. Now they'll force it down deep. Sheehy will get a stick on it and force it to the corner. Kicked out to the middle where Sweeney will collect it, forces it over to Messerich. Messerich will kick it back to Sweeney and they'll take the zone. Sweeney with a steal in front of the net, popped up. It's on the back of the net. Worked off by the Oaks. Sammy Ruiz forces it. He's got it on the near boards. He tries to send it to Sweeney. Just a little too hot to handle. Play it up the far side boards. Oaks got a 3-on-1 here. Sagers knocks it down, though. Cody Sweeney comes in with a shoulder. Knocks him out the net. Puck center, just wide. Messerich is coming with speed. He's got one player to beat. Drives Cody Sweeney off sides. One back. Beshin to Kretz. Kretz tries to dump it in. Gets it about halfway into the zone. Oaks force it the rest of the way. Nico Ruiz. He'll battle for it after I move the camera. Battle for it behind the zone, or behind the goal line. Still a battle in the corner. Ruiz tries to feed it over. Heacock goes and collects it behind the net. Tries to throw it in front. It's knocked loose. Joseph Ross has got it there at the circles. Centers it on net. There's literally no way this puck is in the net, and the goaltender just threw Joseph Ross. And we're going to get the goal. They're not getting the goal. They're waving this off. Dubuque calls a timeout. And they'll regroup with 1:30 left. So with the face-off in the Oak zone, looks like the Saints will leave Sheehy on the bench. Come out with the empty net. 6 attackers. Face-off one back to Sweeney. Sweeney gets a shot wide of the net. Wraps the length. Oaks will steal. Shot it on net just wide of the empty net. Dubuque controls. They'll get it into the zone. Lose control. Battled in front of the nets, or battled in front of the benches. Sammy Ruiz tries to play goaltee and was not successful.
Unassisted at 1 minute of the third period.
Saints forced the face-off down in the Oak zone. Oaks will bring it across the blue line. Cuts to the center of the ice. Shot just wide of the net. The puck stuck behind the net. Kicked around the far side. Mueller clears it. No. Saved by Sheehy. Looks like the Saints will get the power play here with 28 seconds left. And we'll try the old pull the goalie play again. Worked so well for us last time. Down by 2 on the power play. Will they get to ice it for free? I'm sure this won't bite us in the ass. Saints will send Meserich, Beshin, Sweeney, Ruiz, Ross, and the other Ruiz out for this faceoff. Controlled. Bad pass back to Meserich, who can't handle it. Meserich plays it up to Sweeney. Sweeney carries it into the zone. He'll force it wide, take it to the net. Shot saved. Clearing attempt. That'll just about do it. Beshin collects it behind the net. He'll have to be the fastest skater alive to get it down the ice in 6 seconds. Shot on by Sweeney, saved, and that's the ball game. So the final here in Dubuque is 5-3 in favor of the Oaks. Shots are even at 26. Sheehy will take the loss, and some guy from Des Moines will take the win. Wraps up a sweep for the Des Moines JV team for the weekend. Varsity will hope to go for the split here coming up. Coach Wollenberg discussing the current politics with referee Blondin. Wollenberg apparently in favor of one Speaker of the House candidate. Blondin says no, that can't be correct. But coaches and Saints have cleared the ice without further incident.